start with our base, right?
Yep.
So this is very classic. In this pot right here, we're making a roux, which is some flour and butter, right? And we just cook that. We just combine like equal parts of it and cook it until we have this sort of wet sand consistency. That's what you're looking for, sort of a dirty blonde roux. If you're making gumbo, you make it a little darker, you get a lot of flavor out of it, but we're browning that protein right there. Then we're going to add some of our milk, right? And our milk is going to combine with this roux, and that's going to make something classically called bechamel, right? And this is going to be the base of everything that's really ooey and gooey and delicious when it comes to your mac and cheese. So we have that, and we're going to cook that for like, 20 minutes, something like that. I'm going to always put in
nutmeg.
one of my favorite ingredients, this little guy right here. So this is nutmeg, and nutmeg's in so many traditional recipes that I think sometimes as like a younger chef, like we forget about these sort of classic
Nutmeg's
recipes.
in anything that's white usually, and also paired often with anything dark green. So kale or spinach or chard, that kind of.
Absolutely.
world.
It's also, I think, in potpourri because it smells delicious. Always
It
reminds me of
smells
potpourri.
really good.
So here we have our finished bechamel, and what I'm going to do then is take it to the next place. I'm going to add some shredded cheddar, right? So I'm going to add some cheddar.
Now this
That
is your
makes it-
basic.
This is my base. So this is our
Richard,
cheese
before we
sauce.
continue,
Yeah, got it.
how long? Say a pasta cooks 8 minutes. You read the box to see how long you
Right.
should cook it if you're cooking it all the way.
Okay.
If you're making mac and cheese, I always undercook mine a little because you're going to bake it in the oven. So what do you say?
Well, I agree with Rachael Ray, of course. Yes, cook it a little less, a few minutes less. So I've always believed that the Italians say al dente, and I've always thought that that means lazy.
I know, to
Like
the tooth.
undercooked, but you do want it in
Undercooked.
this case, you want it to the tooth, right?
So why don't you do like 2 minutes less than the
Okay.
box says, because it's
Okay.
going to cook a little more.
Right.
Okay?
So here we
And
go.
then you need to cold shock it, honey. When you
Okay.
drain it, put it in some cold water and drain it again so it stops cooking until you use it. Okay?
Yep.
And one of the keys is to taste it. You're going to taste the
All right,
noodle.
let's
You
taste
can
it.
see that it's
You
definitely
want
al
it to have a
dente.
bite
Yeah.
left to it.
All right.
Delicious.
I'm going to add this to my cheesy sauce right here.
Now
My
that's your
cheese
base.
bechamel. This is my
Okay.
base.
Chef, you
Here's-
tell me what I can do. I can hand you
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, right now I'm just going to finish this base. So here's the
Okay.
key to me, is that now I would pull this off the stove, right? We have a cheese sauce, but this is where, if someone taught me, then add more cheese
More
to that.
cheese.
And now this is off the stove. This is not cooking. And what you're going to get here is, as it cools, this cheese barely melts, and it gets real stretchy and ooey and gooey, and I'm
That's
getting
gonna get
goosebumps.
super
Because
good.
it's amazing, and I'm really hungry.